Welcome to another First Day Church with Pyro. Today I'm going to tell you all about the One Piece gods and who their users are going to be. But first, let us play a short minigame of Who's Not a God. The rules are simple. I'm going to show you 3 different One Piece characters and you just have to choose the god wannabe. So here they are. First, we have the highly acclaimed god Usopp. Then we have the classic god Enel, and last but not least the god of the earth Caribou. Now, should you guess incorrectly, your godless punishment will be to subscribe to my channel. But fret not. This will result in regular entertainment with One Piece and anime discussions, theories and what-if scenarios. So there is nothing to lose here on either side. But if you are correct, you will become a prophet of Usoppism. Now, is this already bait that I'm setting up? So, who is not a god? Make your choice now and I will reveal the answer to you in 3, 2, 1. And what a surprise! Caribou, who just wanted to gather more subordinates through a fake religion, is not the real god. What a cheeky swamp boy. So, however, if you guessed incorrectly, you know what to do. And why not say hello in the comments below if you are new here. Anyways, welcome, and let's get back to the theory. First of all, hi, my name is Pyro Prima, and these are all the kinds of video I'm always trying to improve myself more, with snatching ideas from other One Piece creators I really like. So today we're going to talk about the One Piece gods, and first of all, I made a video last week talking about all of the gods and just talked about all of the gods we learned in One Piece and all the different mythologies that implemented in different of the mythological Zoan devil fruits. But today we're going to look specifically at the One Piece gods that we have not learned too much about yet. The only god that we really got revealed so far is Sun God Nika, and that we only learned his name and everything about him recently on Wano. But I mean, the name Sun God already fell when we were in Skypiea, but so that's been I don't know, 10 years ago, probably even more. But let's not get into the time zones here. First of all, we need to prepare our tinfoil hats because this will be a very dangerous hole, and many of you, I think you will not be a big fan of this because people will say it's a stretch, but I just like these kind of videos, and today we're going to talk about these 4 characters. First of all, we have the god of the sun, who has been confirmed to be Nika. And spoilers for the manga, he's also a devil fruit, and there's a very highly relevant character who is the user of this devil fruit. So we have the god of the sun, the god of the rain, the god of the forest, and the god of the earth. So yes, I said Caribou is the god of the earth, and maybe he really isn't, but that's not what's important here right now. We have these 4 gods here that have been already teased, basically, and the god of the sun has been revealed as the first. So now let's think about this. If this is really the order in what they will be revealed in, we would say the god of the sun first, then the god of the rain, then the god of the forest, and then the god of the earth. But now we also have a bit more information that some people might already think is, oh, what Pyro are you even talking about? This is so stupid. So first of all, here are the gods in my opinion. They are the mermaid quintuplets that we met on Fishman Island, and that's already a big stretch in some ways because they're just quintuplets, and their naming scheme is literally just their names with a K at the end and the letter, the numbers from 1 to 4. But so we have Ichika, which is 1 and K, Nika, who's 2 and K, Sanka, Yonka, and Yonka 2. Yonka 2 and why not Goka is also the question here that I think Usopp was asking. But this is very interesting in a way because there was this case that obviously we learned that the sun god's name is Nika. And this could just be a coincidence, but what if this is already teasing all of the gods and we now learned that Nika is the god of the sun and the others are going to be the god of the earth, the god of the rain, and the god of the forest. And why are there 2 Yonkas? So why that's the case, we're going also to take a look at the anime where we saw the different colors of the girls. First of all, from right to left, we have Ichika, Nika, Sanka, Yonka, and Yonka 2. So there's the case. The obvious thing to think is obviously their names are just numbers from 1 to 4 added with a K. But we obviously said we need to add our tinfoil hats here to make us look at Nika, the second mermaid, who coincidentally shares her name with the sun god Nika. And this is where we're going to start into this theory. She also wears red clothing, and the red color of red is obviously deeply connected with, I'm going to say it here, so if you don't want any manga spoilers at all, I'm going to say it now. This video is probably not for you, because I'm going to reveal stuff from chapter 1045 and up, and I'm going to tell you the user of the Nika fruit in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the color red is also deeply connected with Luffy and also with fire overall, because everybody knows that red equals fire. Fire also has the obvious connection to the sun, even if with further research you will learn that the sun is not actually on fire. I think it's just some other sort of heat. So anyways, what if these mermaids are revealing the names to the other gods as well? First, I need to show the other gods before we go back to the Merquintuplets. We have the god of the sun, who was revealed to be Nika, the god of the rain once again, the god of the forest, and the god of the earth. We can see some connections between the gods if we want to talk about this. And to my surprise, the color of these mermaids fit with the gods very well. Ichika being dressed in green and a white top basically could be connected to the god of the forest. Then Nika being dressed in red and being the god of the sun. Sanka being dressed in blue and being the god of the rain, Yonka being dressed in brown and being the god of the earth, and now we have all the 4 gods. But there's still Yonka too. She's dressed in yellow with a black top, but she also has this weird eye-like hat. Her hat has these weird symbols on it, which is quite interesting if we want to interpret more into this. I've seen quite a few fan theories trying to figure out which characters have the other One Piece god fruits, just recently when we learned more about the Hito no Mi model Nika, so there is just going to be other stuff as well. So let's go through some of them. First of all, we have the sun god Nika, who is already clear as Luffy has a devil fruit for him. Now let's look at the forest god Ichika. I personally think there are 2 options here, Green Bull or Blackbeard. And Green Bull is the obvious one. Many hope or believe he has the plant-based powers, and this is just, the whole forest theme is really fitting for the plant-based powers, and it would also maybe explain how he doesn't need to eat, because the forest god can just eat through photosynthesis or something. This could be a very nice explanation, and maybe, wait, let me show the colors again. I'm just going to keep this picture up. Maybe the white top of Ichika also shows the affiliation to the Marines, that he is actually somewhere at the top of the Marines, at being a position of the admirals. So that's why he has the white top. Blackbeard needs a bit more of an explanation in my opinion, because why would Blackbeard have the forest fruit? He has, or the forest god fruit, he has already the Yami Yami no Mi, the darkness, and he has the Gura Gura no Mi, which was Whitebeard's fruit. But this explains a bit of the answer here. The idea is that the ability to eat multiple devil fruits and the forest god fruit are just connected. Because if you think about it, we have the concept of the sun, which is a singular object. The concept of the rain, it's concept of the rain itself. So rain is a single instance and not the concept of raindrops or something. Then we have the concept of earth, which is a single thing. But forest is the only one that's not a singular object. It's a collection of multiple beings, multiple trees. And that's also the reason why Blackbeard would be able to eat more than one devil fruit, because he has more than, he's a forest. He's more than just one thing. And maybe that's also the explanation why Luffy and Zoro back in Loketown, no, in Jaya was it? It wasn't Jaya. They said they to Blackbeard. I'm still not sure if they were just talking about Blackbeard or if they were talking about his entire crew being there as well. But if it was they and it was a teaser at the forest fruit inside of him that he ate already before he ate the Yami Yami no Mi, that could be an interesting twist. So if you have other ideas for the forest fruit or any of the other gods I'm going to reveal in this video, please type them in the comments down as well. I'm just going to say what I found and how I would explain it. First of all, we now go over to Sanka, who is the person who's going to reveal ourselves as the god of the rain, or the rain god. So first of all, unlike the concept of rain, the sun, I messed up here, so let me tell you this. The sun and the rain are very connected, and that is basically our explanation how some of these characters could come into play. We have the rain god, and here are two possible candidates for this as well. We have Imu-sama as the secret leader of the Marines and the world government, and Monkey D. Dragon, the leader of the revolutionaries and the father of our protagonist Monkey D. Luffy. Many speculate that Imu has some sort of water-based power, be it like a straight water fruit, or just a salt fruit maybe, or now the rain god fruit. That speculation exists because their name is reversed like as Umi. Imu equals Umi, which means sea or ocean in Japanese, as far as I can remember. You can correct me on that. Plus, a water-based power for the secret ruler of an ocean-heavy world seems quite fitting. But it's just, there's also the idea of dragon, which I personally like a bit more. Let's get to him now. He doesn't have as much evidence, but the idea is that he has the rain god fruit because he controlled the weather when saving Luffy in Loketown. Some people also just think it was the universe or the fate of Luffy that just didn't let him die. But the idea that Dragon used his rain god powers to save his son with like a rain storm is very fitting overall. Additionally, it can be said that the sun and the rain are closely connected, because without the sun evaporating the seawater, the rain is unable to appear or act. Similar to how Luffy shakes up the seas, or Umi, reversed to Imu, for Dragon to finally actually go through with his plans in overthrowing the world government. So the sun is going to lead the way for the rain to actually succeed in his plan, Luffy giving the option for his father to do all that he wants to do. But now let's get to the Earth God, the final god of the four. Here we have three candidates in my opinion, or four if you want to include that guy. We have Akainu, or Sakazuki, depending on what you want to call him, Imu once again, and Blackbeard once again. And I mean, you can also include Karibu, but Karibu is more of a joke if he actually is there, because she's surprisingly relevant in Wano, so is he going to be relevant for the rest of the story as well? I'm not really sure, but if he's going to be the Earth guy, that's a bit of a surprise, I guess. I didn't expect that. So let's go through them one by one. First of all, let's talk about Akainu. Akainu would be cool in my opinion, as he's like the strongest opponent in the Marines directly. But technically he's just being controlled by Imu if you want to think about it like that. His magma powers can be related to Earth in a way that, or like land masses, you want to think about that way, that volcano eruptions can create entirely new islands, which is like the idea of the god of Earth creating new islands and different places here and there. Even the clothing is another part I look at. It is hard for me to say that the white hat on Yonka shows that the Earth God is in possession of the highest ranking marine, the top, like the fleet admiral. But it could also be said that the head works for Imu, because like they are the secret top of the entire world government. Akainu also doesn't give any possible solution in my opinion to why there is a Yonka 2, which I have ideas for Imu and Blackbeard. But Akainu would... I think Akainu just has the magma fruit, which is still a very powerful fruit, but let's just say he's not the final opponent here in One Piece. We have to give... he's just there. He might even become an ally in some sort if Imu gets to be revealed. I'm not sure, but maybe we're going to see a redemption arc for Akainu before everything is going to take place. But now, let's get into why Imu could be the user of the Earth God fruit. First of all, the Earth God fruit is, in my opinion, very interesting with this other theory that I had in mind is, first of all, think about the idea of the red line, and this like the red line is made by a god or made by man itself. Like, once there was the all blue, every sea was connected and everybody could go wherever they wanted to go. But then there was the Earth God, or like maybe there was the user of the Earth God fruit, like Imu, or maybe there was the original Earth God themselves, who created the red line as a way to separate all of the four blues, making it easier to control them. But Pyro, how do you explain Yonka 2 then? That's a good question, because let us take a look at Yonka 2 for Yonka 2's beautiful head for a second here. That reminds me of something that we see in One Piece more recently, like in Dressrosa, with Imu, with Mihawk, and with Zunisha as well. So we see these special eyes on some characters in the world, and so many that it is a teaser at the person who has the Earth God fruit or the Earth God himself. Maybe they all have a bit of his power in them. To have these weird eyes is like, I basically just thought maybe it's connected to like a split personality like Cavendish and Hakuba have them. But there's also the problem here that Mihawk also has those eyes and Sunisha also has those eyes, and they don't have a split personality. So that is like also a bit of a problem here in my theory if it's about the split personality. But first of all, let's get into my favorite character for this example, and that would be Blackbeard. And now let me tell you about why Blackbeard could be also a potential candidate for the Earth God power. So here we are, deep breaths, keep calm, and let me tell you about why Blackbeard is the user of the Devil Fruit here. Blackbeard is interesting because there are so many options why he could potentially be that person. And now, here is a bit of an explanation. Blackbeard is... There's already the idea that he has multiple personalities, but would also be fitting for the idea of having Yonka 2 as a multiple personality thing. But there's also the idea that there is a problem with Blackbeard eating 2 devil fruits. And I'm going to give you an explanation with that because we have those 2 characters right now. I know that giving you so many options is basically already contradicting myself instantly. But if I just say one thing, and like if just one of the things I say turn out to be true, I'm already going to call myself Oda's German copy, and I'm confident with that. Like, I'm giving you more ideas because if you want to like further investigate and prove one of these ideas to be right, I'm just all up for it. Go deeper, go dig deeper, and reveal to me even more ideas why one of the things I said is true right now. We all know that Blackbeard is special. Like, let's go back to the quote with the day thing from Blackbeard. He's a special individual. And anyways, I think this works both for the Forest God idea and the Earth God idea. Because now think about this. If Blackbeard ate the Forest God fruit, it is because a forest consists of many trees and he can eat more fruits because of that. If he ate the Earth God fruit, you need to listen until the end of this video. So it's just that we have 2 different parts of the Earth God. We have Yonka 1 and Yonka 2. With the idea that maybe Blackbeard is the user here is also because Yonka 2 has a black top, which could be the reveal, like he's Blackbeard, obviously. She's the only one wearing a black top. Everybody else has like the colors fitting for their powers. So like, even Ichika with a white thing is more like a white greenish color, which could still be the thing with the Marines and other stuff. But there are other like important things to think about here as well. First of all, the idea here is that Blackbeard ate the Yummy Yummy no Mi, but he wasn't complete just yet. The first fruit he ate was the Yummy Yummy no Mi because maybe he heard something about that, or maybe he just wanted the fruit. But when he ate that, he noticed that the devil fruit was still missing something. The Earth God, or Yonka and Yonka 2, were once one singular entity, but through some circumstances the gods split into 2 different people. The Earth Gods consist of 2 different devil fruits, is what I want to say. We have and that is also the reason why Blackbeard can eat 2 different fruits. So the Earth God fruit is the powers of the Gura Gura no Mi and the Yummy Yummy no Mi. They were once a singular power that was deemed too dangerous and thus somehow separated. I don't explain like how this can work because there could be many ways. We don't even know how devil fruits came into existence to begin with. So there is an idea that they can just separate and be 2 different things from now on. But after you eat both of them, they come together in once and you have the ability to awaken to the Earth God powers. It could also be the reason why Yonka 2 wears like the black shirt, showing that she's the Yummy Yummy no Mi, like with the black eyes showing the darkness a bit, and Yonka 1 has the brown powers because she's the Earth God, which is Gura Gura, which is Earthquake. And there's just this connection that makes a lot of sense in my opinion. And only after eating both fruits, you have the potential of awakening these things. So if Rox had these powers as well, that could explain how God Valley vanished from the world, because he maybe had both the Yummy Yummy and the Gura Gura. And with the awakening of the Earth God powers, he was not able to win against Roger, Whitebeard. I don't know if Whitebeard betrayed him, but he definitely could, like, we know he fought against Roger and Garp. So he maybe couldn't win against those two, but what he could do was destroy the island completely for it to be considered literally destroyed and not there anymore inside of the world. So now you might ask yourself, why would Rox have the Gura Gura no Mi? Whitebeard had it. We don't know when Whitebeard got his devil fruit. Maybe Rox had that devil fruit, both the Gura Gura and the Yummy Yummy, and then he died and Whitebeard got his hands on the Gura Gura. And some decades later, Blackbeard got his hands on the Yummy Yummy. The Yummy Yummy was lost for a few decades, and that happened until Fetch found it and Blackbeard killed him and got the fruit from that. So I probably could go for ages talking about the possibilities, but let's stop here. What are your ideas to add onto this theory, and what do you think about my crazy opinions? So I just want to say the Earth God is still my most important idea here, because just think about this. Luffy has now god powers. If there are no other characters who have god powers, who is going to be his opponent in the final war or in future arcs? We need other people with powers on par with Luffy to have an interesting story, because obviously Gear 5 and the Nika fruit are very endgame powers, and if you have them here already, is Luffy already too strong for everybody and can defeat them once he gets used to his powers? That's just going to be boring, so we need people who can keep up with him. But that's for Oda to show and for me to read. I hope you enjoyed the video and all of you are going to stay happy, healthy and cultured, and until the next time I hope you have a great week. Until then, take care of yourself. Pyro out.